What's up guys, welcome back to another Tdurrshoots video. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Tamaine, and in today's video we're gonna go over just a few tips and tricks on how you can achieve a cinematic look in your nightlife photography or dark venues without flash, and get some creative looks with flash. So the best of both worlds. We're gonna hop right up into it. Let's go. So we are here at the Summer's Last Dance Festival in Chicago. It's one of Chicago's last festivals of the year, and inside this venue it is actually at a strip club. I did not know it was going to take place at a strip club, but we are here at a strip club. However, in this club they have a lot of ambient lighting, which is going to help us get that cinematic look that we want, and overall help get a lot of great light, ambient light for our flash look as well. And I'm filming two DJs in this video, which I'll show you guys here. But as we get right up on into it, my gear that I'm going to be using a Canon R5C along with my Speedlight 600 EX RT Mark II. This is the Speedlight, I think maybe if I go back here. So this is a Speedlight that I've been using for about 3 years now. Shout out to Create with Canvas. He got me on to getting one of these Speedlights, and ever since I've seen the photos come out of Create with Canvas's camera on Canon, I got this Speedlight and I've learned how to use it, and I've been using it forever. Getting right up on into it, on my Canon R5C I currently have my flash on. You see me popping off. My ISO is at 400. I typically like to keep my ISO low because there is not a lot of grain or any grain at all in your images, even with flash. As you can see, my f-stop is at 3.5. My lens can open up all the way to 2.8, but I like to stay at around 3.2 through 3.5 to keep our images nice, sharp, and crisp. Shutter speed at 1/30 to let a lot of that ambient lighting in, so we can get a lot of that color in the background as well. If you increase the shutter speed, then that color will die down and you won't get as much color in. So now I am switching my settings here to maybe get a few cinematic looks, trying something different here. And I open my ISO up all the way to 20,000. Now that's crazy. 20,000, that means you're gonna get a lot of grain in your images, which I did get a lot of grain in my image. However, I'm gonna go over to the Lightroom Classic platform, and we're gonna show you guys how to get rid of that grain using denoise and manual denoise. So as we hop on over to Adobe Lightroom Classic, I'm gonna show you guys how to basically denoise if you don't know already. Now with denoise becoming so popular in a lot of apps and so easy to use, it makes bumping up your ISO and having grainy images not as stressful and worry-free as you would have thought in almost any image, especially when you're shooting nightlife or in any dark scenarios. You can bump that ISO up all the way, even if it means you're going to get a lot of noise. That denoise is going to get rid of that and make your image really crisp. However, if you use too much denoise, then your photo may look a little bit too much AI and a little too fake and a little too cartoonish. But that's where you want to, kind of figure out the sweet spot. So with the photo we just showed here, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of how to edit. Assuming you guys already know how to import your photos into Lightroom Classic, we got our photos pulled up here. I'm gonna show you guys two ways. We got denoise, and then we're gonna manually denoise our photos. So we're starting from scratch right here. As you can see, we go over here at my ISO is at 20,000. I'm at 35 millimeters, f2.8, 1/60th of a shutter speed. We stay at f2.8 so we can open up that aperture, let as much light in as possible because we're not using any flash, and we're in a nightlife setting. We are at 1/60th because that is the lowest shutter speed to where we can at least stop as much motion as possible, but also let in as much light in as possible because it was super dark. I could have maybe bumped up the shutter speed a little bit more so we can get some sharpness, but I was really still and really steady with my camera, so that is the lowest that we want to go. We really don't even have to edit much here. All I really have to do is just show you guys how to go to denoise, but we're just gonna skip everything and literally go down here to, in the detail section, over to denoise. And this is the first option we can show. By a click of a button, if you guys don't know already, which I'm pretty sure you do, we are going to watch all the noise out of this image just be cleared completely, and we can further adjust the level of denoise that our image will have so we don't look too cartoonish. Now the thing is, with denoise, as you can see, it's applying the denoise estimated time 50 seconds. It takes a long time to denoise each image itself. I'll show you another method after this on how to manually denoise your image, and it is much faster if you guys don't know. Okay, now, boom, our image is denoised, and now we have a super crisp, sharp looking photo. There's not any noise really as much at all in this photo, and this photo looks fantastic. This photo looks really clean. It looks really cinematic. It's eye-catching. Now, one thing is, if you do zoom into this photo, you can see his skin is really soft, and it kind of gives off a little bit of too much AI. So if you don't want that, just turn the denoise down a little bit. If we turn it down all the way, we'll be back almost at square one. But maybe go to 20 or even 50, and then it won't look too fake. It'll look just perfect. And I'm not the type of guy, I don't like to use AI at all, but with denoise, you'll be fine. So literally just like this, guys, this is how we get our photo to look really good using the denoise option. Now, secondly, we're gonna go over to the second photo here because I made a copy, synchronize it. Go to the second photo. Now we're at the second photo. It should be the exact same, so we can keep our settings all the same. And now I'm just going to uncheck denoise. And before I do that, I'm going to show you guys, make sure we uncheck denoise here. Boom, denoise, unchecked, and as you guys can see, our image is back to normal with all the noise. And now we're going to manually denoise this. And how to do that, you still stay in the detail section, and then you're going to go down to luminance down here. And then we're going to increase our luminance settings to where it is kind of perfect. As you guys can see, our image is getting really smooth as we go all the way up. But then we're gonna look really fake, so we don't want to do that. Go all the way to 100. You are going to want to go into that sweet spot. So that sweet spot is around like 45, 50. And then we're gonna nextly go into maybe detail here, and the detail is gonna give us a little bit, it's kind of like sharpness in a sense, and clarity and texture. We don't want too much detail, but just a little bit. Contrast brings up the texture a lot in this photo. We don't want contrast at all, really. And then after we mess with these ones here, we're gonna go up to the sharpening section, and what is sharpening gonna do is, of course, gonna sharpen up the photo a little bit more. It looks like it brightens up the photo if we go all the way up. But these are really minimal details here. We kind of already got the photo to where we want it to be with the luminance right here. So let's back out here, and then boom, we are back at not square one, but how we denoise the photo. And we're gonna go back and forth here. We're gonna see the difference between manually denoising, which is much faster, versus denoising. This is denoise. This is what we manually denoised. Denoise, manually denoise. Zoom in, manual denoise. Whoops, this is denoise. Manual denoise, denoise. So the difference is very minimal. You can barely see, but overall, the best method to increase your speeds for editing may be to go down to the manual noise reduction, so you don't have to wait for the denoise to be applied. So I also shot video clips for the DJs as well. I offered 2 services during this event for the DJs. Craze here is hyping up the crowd as he just hopped up on set, and just enjoy this behind the scenes vertical video clip that I offered so they can engage with their social media posts.
Guys, my arms are dead. My arms are dead. The intro that Craze had, killer intro.
Yeah, I just hold the camera in the air like all day, going back and forth. But getting back into the photos here, my ISO 640 f2.8, shutter speed 1/115. So with that shutter speed being really slow, I open up a lot of light, allowing a lot more ambient light in, while also getting motion blur as I twist the camera and give us a little bit of creative perspective as well. It looks super cool with that. I was taking photos throughout this whole venue, going from angle to angle. So I changed up the elements with Craze as well. I get that cinematic look again and open up my ISO to 32,000. And this time my shutter speed is at 1/200 because I was behind them, and I'm just, you know, balancing out where the light can be. Now getting into portraits, we got portraits of the girls here, f2.8, shutter speed 1/30th, and I don't like to go too cinematic with the portraits. I like to keep them, you know, keep the flash on so we can guarantee a well-balanced and well-exposed photo, as you guys can see here for portraits. And this is just easy. I don't have to be really creative with that. So you can see me behind the scenes taking a couple of more shots of Craze as I offer, a couple more portrait shots, trying to get a little bit more creative, trying to catch him doing some nice poses and just twisting the knobs on his DJ set and whatnot. But overall, guys, I just wanted to show you how you can achieve cinematic element looks in your photography, in your nightlife photography, or in dark venues by opening up your ISO a lot and letting that denoise option just completely take away all the noise and all the grain out of your images. And now you can get a little bit more creative and have to be essentially stress-free and worry less about, your client looking at really grainy, tough photos. The denoise option will completely erase all your stress away, and you can get more creative with that. I've been shooting at a lot of venues. I shoot nightlife pretty often, so now maybe I'll explore a couple of more videos and maybe some behind the scenes and show you guys a little bit more of how I can get creative by just not using flash in the nightlife setting, because flash is much needed. It's very much needed in a nightlife setting, but sometimes turn that flash off, get a little bit more cinematic, and then you will wow your audience, you will wow your client, and you will wow yourself, because you are allowing to expand your creativity and try something different instead of relying on flash all the time. So without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed the video, hope you got some tips from this. Stay tuned for the next ones. We gone.